Well, the weather really just changed. It is very quiet outside. There's snow in the forecast. It's on the radar. It just was flurrying and now it stopped, but we do have some snow moving over us now. So I just can't get over how just quiet it is. It almost feels like a winter storm before a winter storm, but it's almost 40 degrees, so I can't see this doing anything. All right, so we moved about 100 bales out of here. I have another guy that wants to come. He was thinking of coming today, but he decided to wait. So before the next customer shows up, I might as well throw another 60 bales down. That way it's here, it's stacked by the door, it's easy to load. Or maybe, no wait, he has a dump truck, I better not. What I usually do with him, he backs up here and I try to get him over there, and then that way I can throw the bales down on his dump truck and there's no lifting them up on. You can just throw them down and stack basically as high as you can go. I want to keep taking this pile back level all the way back in case I don't get it all out of here and next year I have to put more hay in. I'll put the new hay like towards the back and keep trying to get rid of the old stuff in the front. What are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm at 6 layers, and there we're at 7, 8. So it's about 8 layers in the back. Over, I don't know. I can't never estimate, but there's at least, the barn's 50, 40, 50 wide, 6 layers, plus the width, whatever it is. I have moved quite a bit of hay. I think I was up to 9 or 10 layers. So it is going down. And I don't know, I had another, you guys remember I had sold some and had it stored up here for a guy. He's one of my neighbors, and he's the guy that used to help me when I was over at the other farm, and he's helped me at this place. He's kind of a long-time family friend, and I'm more than happy to store hay for him. I guess his daughter has horses. It's gonna be dark, just bear with me, I'll just keep talking. Let's walk in here. I haven't seen him. He usually helps himself, and yes, he has gotten some hay out of here. Okay, so he's moving hay. In the last couple weeks, like I said, we got rid of some of last year's crop. It's starting to go down. It doesn't look like it, but it is. It's slowly going down. The guy that wants last year's crop, he does want a good bit. It's just, like I say, he has a pickup truck, so it's just a slow process getting it out of here. Anyway, so I don't usually, I'm not going to, with my channel, the way I have it set up, I'm not going to record anybody here to pick up hay or loads of hay going out of here, but my one customer, and he was probably my first customer that I started with at the beginning of the year, way back in January. I guess his wife had just passed away, and she had cancer, and I don't know, cancer it's affected my family too. Both my grandfathers had died from it. One young and one fairly young. 67, 68, my other granddad had passed away. So it's just hasn't gotten any better as far as getting that taken care of with people. But anyway, I just wanted to make a note of that he wanted to come get some hay today, just to kind of keep busy, I guess. So that's totally understandable. So he got the about 100 bales out of here for his horses. Like I say, the other guy has horses. The other guy is the guy that had the work done on his barn, so he has more capacity, I guess he said, to store more hay, and he wanted to stock up for winter. So he's going to get a dump truck or two out of here. And like I say, I still have this guy with the last year's crop that he wants to probably next week. So so anyway, just a quick rundown again. I have to get this railing on these steps. Usually I don't record myself walking up and down these steps. These steps are treacherous here. Not all of them are nailed down. I have size 12 shoes, so these stairs aren't that wide. I have to get the railing on here. Like I say, this guy that was a longtime family friend, his hay's up there. He has to walk up these steps, and he's in his 70s. And just to give him peace of mind, he's pretty good yet, but just to give him peace of mind to have something to hold when he goes up, I got to start working on this railing. I've just been kind of ignoring this project, but I got to get to it. The other thing I got to do, I got to figure out what to do with this wagon load of chaff pretty soon here. I was waiting through hunting season. Last year I got the wagon load of chaff out of here right after harvest, but the ground was frozen at that time. After harvest this year, it was still muddy and wet, and then we had Thanksgiving and hunting season, and here it sits. So hunting season's over now. It's sleeting right now, but hunting season is over, but the ground's now thawed out again. So next time we get a frost, I'm going to take the 395, hook this thing up, sweep up some of this chaff from today, and take it up to the field and put it down where the ground has some heavy erosion. I've got to do it now instead of later, because if I don't, it's going to mess up the corn planter. If I don't get it spread out and it has time to soften up and rot over winter, you're just going to have lumps of grass that the corn planter is going to have to try to get through. So anyway, it's a lot of conversation here for a little bit of work, I guess. But anyway, yeah, it is sleeting here, so let's see what else we got going today. All right, so another project, another thing I want to tackle this winter. This is that Christmas tree wagon. I did a whole video on it. I cannot believe these tires were sitting since the 1980s up in that upper shed, and they were both pretty well flat down in the mud. And I put air in these tires around the time of harvest and parked it here, and it's been sitting here ever since, and the tires are still inflated. These old, I mean, they're inflated solid, so I'm glad I didn't need to worry about repairing those tires. Like I say, they are an odd size. They're 720, and I did price them. You can still get those tires, but I didn't want to pay the price and for an old wagon. And the tubes are available. They're pretty pricey. If it wouldn't have sealed, what I was going to do was just put some tire slime in just to seal it up. So they're fine. So another winter project, like I said, I want to take this rear rack off of here. This rack that they had used for the Christmas trees to help hold them. I want to get that off and see if I can't make these fender boxes that are like fender wheel wells. See if I can't shrink them down to a little bit smaller. I think they're pretty darn big. I think the tire only comes up to about here. So I'd like to shrink them down so if I do stack hay on this little trailer, it's more level. It's not quite as awkward. So, and like I said, I'd like to have the that back rack off of there for loading. It doesn't make sense to have it on there. Usually if you have like a headache rack on something, it's in the front. I want to recycle that wood, though. I do want the wood, and I want to use some of that to make that railing. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the other project. And I have to work at this tongue here. This hitch, this metal has to get cut off of here so you can turn. This hitch was like a pocket, and I don't fully understand it, but we got the jack on there to help hold it. So I do want to work on this a little bit and get this set up to haul bales out of the field if I ever run out of space on any of the hay wagons. This John Deere rake's going to get sold this spring. I'm going to take this, I think take it to my local dealer that I bought it from and put it there on consignment. I paid $850 for it, and it didn't have a good tine on it. I think I paid a little bit too much for it, but it is what it is. I needed a rake. I was just out of time. So $850, I don't know if I can get that back out of it. I did put almost $200 worth of tines on it, and I bought a brand new drive belt that I didn't get on yet. So that's going to get sold, hopefully for the same price. I need to borrow my buddy's trailer if he'll loan it to me and take it back out to my local dealer. And the other thing that's going to get sold, I might have said this, I can't keep track of who I tell what to. This 710 Tedder is also going to get sold. Again, I paid way too much for it, but I needed a tedder. It was time to mow hay, and I didn't have one, so it was kind of just a good deal to pick it up at the time. I paid too much for it. I like to get $1,500 out of it now. It is a 2002 model, or a 2000. It's not that old, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's like new yet. All the tines are in good shape, and I might even have some extra tines. The belts still have the numbers on them. You can read it. So very low use tedder. So I'll probably put that up for sale. Now that I have that H&S spinner tedder, I love it, and that International 35 rake, I think we're in good shape there. I was just hanging on to them just in case I needed a backup for any reason at all, and I don't see a need for that. Even if something goes wrong with my rake or my tedder, there's so many guys around that have hay equipment. I'm sure I could borrow something. Not that I like borrowing equipment, but I don't see a sense of keeping stuff around that I'm not going to use, especially when my cash flow is going to be in trouble this year, I think. So, all right, guys, we'll end it there for the day. I think that's about all I have going. I have to leave today, so I'm going to be gone for the majority of the day. So by the time I get back home, I'll upload this video. But it is sleeting, and I don't know what it's supposed to rain the next 3 days. So more rain adding to our total. Let's see if we can hit 80 inches of rainfall for the year. I doubt we'll get there, but anyway, all right, thanks. I'll see you guys later.